Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about vampires because it's been my current fixation. If I find something that I haven't really been into or really been feeling or I'm really disappointed, you know what I go back to? Vampires. When I say vampires, I personally don't mean Twilight. However, I know that's such a big franchise. It's kind of like just in terms of comfort media, which is crazy, considering vampires are literally built on fear. It's all I've been reading, watching, thinking about. So I wanted to turn my interest into a video and show you guys how vampires went from ancient myth to my very specific fixation currently and for the last year. Vampires did not start as hot gothic immortals. They started, as I mentioned before, as fear. Across Europe and beyond, people believed the dead could rise to drain the living, especially during plagues and unexplained deaths. In places like Romania, Serbia, Hungary, villagers even dug up bodies and staked them if they thought someone had become a vampire, because it was that serious. For over time, these superstitions turned into stories, and in the 1800s, that fear became gothic fiction, creating stories like Carmilla and Dracula, which gave us the seductive, tragic vampire we still recognize today. But my personal favorites in terms of vampire media is going to be the Interview with the Vampire Show, so excited for the new season, A Dowry of Blood, Vampires of El Norte, which I actually just bought today with the gift card I was given, because I absolutely adored this book. Gorgeous cover, by the way. And obviously, Sinners. Oh God, I love Sinners. I'm so sad it didn't win more awards, but they can't take away my. If Sinner has no fans, I'm literally dead and buried. I read a book that I really did not enjoy, and you know what I turned back to? Vampire media. So this one's been on my to be read for a while, so it's what I'm reading right now, and this is A Long Time Dead. These are all tragic, gothic, queer, and emotionally devastating. I highly recommend Interview with the Vampire. Will you be emotionally well after the fact? No. Was I? No. But it's so good. It's so good. These stories are not just about blood, they are about love, power, obsession, and what it costs to live forever. Okay, but getting into other vampire media, because that is what I'm here for, to give you guys more media, because God, it's all I do. You give me a couple hours with a computer, Goodreads, Letterboxd, Storygraph, I will find something. Oh, let's not forget Reddit. Reddit was so helpful in terms of this. There is an entire vampire subreddit, and I can scroll and scroll and scroll. Amazing. Anyways, I'm going to start off with the books. These are kind of, and loosely for some of these, but these are going to be like the foundational classics, and I'm choosing Dracula, Carmilla, I Am Legend, and Fever Dream. These sort of built the genre. Again, take that with a grain of salt, don't come for me, okay? Relax. There's also the Anne Rice lineage. Her whole, she has so many books purely off of vampires, and I love it. However, I do, again, still love the Interview with the Vampire Show. When I read the book, it was a little, Claudia was a little too real in that book, a little too young, and it really emphasized how serious it was in comparison to the show, but that's besides the point. Then I have queer, feminist, and literary vampires. This is going to be A Dowry of Blood, love, An Education in Malice, Fledgling, Immortal Dark, and Stainless. I also have modern, gothic, and atmospheric horror. It's going to be A Long Time Dead. Let me put it over here instead. A Long Time Dead, Vampires of El Norte, In the Valley of the Sun, The Lesser Dead, and The Buffalo Hunter. And then I have small town and American horror in particular. This is going to be Salem's Lot, They Thirst, and Night's Edge. And then romance and problematic favorites. I'm not judging. Listen, I have two friends actually that I've only seen the first Twilight movie. I need to lock in one of these days and watch the rest of them. They could recreate some of the scenes in Twilight so well. I believe them entirely. But these are gonna be like Blood and Longing. So Twilight, Bride by Allie Hazelwood, So Hungry, and Hungerstone. And then you have like the epic and fantasy vampires, and that's gonna be Empire the Vampire and Dayboy, and then some genre like benders. It's not the real traditional vampire in the sense, but I would say Book Eaters was really good, and The Last Vampire. But of course, I won't leave my like film bros and TV watchers, I won't leave you guys behind. So of course, I have some recommendations for you guys as well. Foundational cinema, loosely. Interview with the Vampire, the movie. Nosferatu. You have the 1922 version and the 2024 version. You have the pop culture vampires, and that is the Twilight Saga, the Vampire Diaries, and Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then you have like your action vampires, you have Blade, Underworld, and Van Helsing. However, Van Helsing is your fighting vampire. It's on the list because I love the way that Dracula's wives look in that movie. Like visually amazing. I'm there. But you have like the animated ones as well, and Castlevania, and then speaking of Transylvania, Hotel Transylvania, and then Dark Shadows with Johnny Depp, and then again my #1 favorites. I'm so sad it didn't win more awards, but Sinners. It was so good, and if you haven't seen it, you've been living under a rock. Go see it. I highly recommend it. It's absolutely amazing. Anyways, that's it for my media recommendations there. Also, does anybody remember the show My Babysitter's a Vampire? Because I don't know about you guys, but I was absolutely obsessed with that show. Me and Disney Channel, like this, you know why? My Babysitter is a Vampire, the show or the movie. God, it was so good. Ooh. Yeah. That is my very short list of my vampire fixation in the media I'm consuming, planning to consume, things like that. But this ranges from ancient folklore to gothic literature to queer, messy, emotionally devastated immortals. This is the genre that has completely taken over my brain for as long as I can remember. But, and honestly, ironically, I think vampires are going to be around forever. We keep reinventing them because they let us talk about things that we're scared to admit. Things like desire, power, loneliness, love, and what would it actually mean to live forever, and what it means to be human. But fun fact, before I go, in the 1700s, people in Eastern Europe were so convinced that vampires were real that governments actually sent officials to investigate vampire outbreaks in villages. Like, imagine filing an official report because your neighbor might be undead. That's how serious it was. The fear was so deeply rooted. Oh, yes. And again, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I absolutely love doing the research and creating this kind of content. So feel free to do all the YouTube stuff if you want. Like, comment, subscribe. No pressure. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you next time. I love you guys. Bye.